welcome to movie recaps. After reuniting with Kalki, letter F and them were playing Desc, but suddenly, 9 hours later, we see F and V quarreling in the living room. F tries to convince him, but he's not in the mood. That's how he resorts to destroying. In the present time, they were trying to plan for Jane's house, but instead he was ruining anything. It starts attacking the kitten. Meanwhile, Gordon picks up letter B. Letter E and A are wondering about that. Letter E types on the computer, but instantly smashes it. We can see letter B sitting down on that kind of chair and arguing about that. Meanwhile, the balloon is coming closer to the house and packs up all of his belongings. Then, once on the chair, before flying, the balloon separates the letters from other letters, and they were stuck on New York. Meanwhile, in their house, letter B and others were looking for the letters, but instantly they were leaving. Somewhere in New York, letter B and others fly to New York. As we could see that they were crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, and the person named Derek picks up the letters and puts it to his house. Letter B picks up a phone and tries to dial anyone. Meanwhile, in their home, letter U is eating a wheat, and he saw all the letters waiting for them to come home. Somewhere in New York, letter B and others were running. Letter F got a first aid kit. F holds his cell phone, then instantly he is making another invention. Just then, they went in a car, but they just saw an unknown black van trying to chase and pursue them. They went in fast speed. Meanwhile, Kalki and Gitari were pouring adrenaline fuel to kill him. The blue car just stopped, but the black van got exploded. Thanks to their invention, they're going to Korea, but they instantly crash in a building. The guys went on an entry to the airport, but they were flying. They were flying to come back home. Meanwhile, the letters are in the Infinite Speedway's tower, as letter F tries to scribble the red thing. Meanwhile, in their flight, they're flying, but the plane got crashed. Letter B decides to make a prism shard to time travel, because that's the year. Next, they went in Korea, and they're trying to spell Bill. This time only with a pencil. Without the pencil. F and Q are the last. Just then, the consonants and the vowels arrive in the van, or the camper van. They went in a camper van and crash a lot of times. They got kidnapped by another man. because this was B's nightmare and they were going out in Korea. During their flashback, before the letters, before they go to Korea, their house was deconstructed, and they were pursuing the plane. But this time, A and B were fighting constantly, and they just saw a dog attacking and ravaging it. He was pulling a table and others. Along with the letters, B, along with the letters, they landed on Yellowstone because there was a volcanic eruption, and they went to Los Angeles. The two instantly quarreling, but they just saw some commercials. Meanwhile, in the Russians, they were using their boats to go to Los Angeles. Meanwhile, in Shinjai's base, letter X is kidnapped. The other letters were going away and entering his base, but the black car pursues him. The letters decided to infiltrate his base. Meanwhile, they're traveling to the airlines Emirates, but they crashed. They were chasing again, and this time, it's a cycle of deja vu. They went in a supermarket, but this time they were fighting. They were running away from the supermarket, and it repeatedly in their building. They were planning to go home, but an instant tsunami kills all the people except for the letters. They were running away and they went in the van, but this time the airplane crushed their camper van. They went on an available plane, but instantly crashing into something. Meanwhile, at the International Alphabet Lore, Binary 9 was planning to kill and roast the Japanese. In New York, letter B decides to do the hula hoop job, but instantly his house got destroyed. Meanwhile, in Housington, the Greeks are entering the house. In Suburban, Binary 9 decides to torture Butterscotch B. He instantly used the attraction thing. Off, repel, attract, kill, suck, and spit. This time only the suck mode. It's sucking everything up. Due to Binary 9's torturing, he puts it to spit mode. And it instantly spits all the red goop. JavaScript 9 and Yosemite 9 and Kilobyte 9 were watching for Binary 9's plan. Right now, letter N is trying to remove this gemstone, that one that's cracked. And an unknown traitor tries to smash his gem and starts attacking him. Letter N went to the temple, then instantly regrets. This time only red liquid flowing there, and letter N just saw some red fluid. Back in the city, they were traveling. They were running until they decided to pursue letter N. They went in Haven Day, and this is the time they were in the sand. They just spelled boat, but this time it reaches critical. And this is how it starts sinking. They need to get out of, they need to get from the sand and think of a plan. But F fights back at letter N for his home. Because of their headquarters, they went on the airplane. The plane door closes, then they were fighting in the plane. The plane reaches to space, then after that, the black car had crashed. This time, he was confined in the building, and the other guys went to the building, but it got destroyed instantly. Due to all of his regret, letter F and others decided to leave. Letter N disguises to be a 9 squad called Loot 9, but instantly he isn't trusted even though he disguises. Because letter JavaScript 9 and Kilobyte K decide to get rid of N. Binary 9's plan is success to kill letter N. Because due to their fencing, this is the time that their artificial tails gets broken. And all of those candy-like objects were cheering for him. And this is the time they went on top and they saw the glowworms on. And his birthday, they were celebrating his birthday. Because he gets so scared and decides to get rid of the letters, and he tries to blow up the cake, and then he instantly gets kicked out. He duplicates a lot of X's. He decides to run away, but then their traveling was interrupted by a warship. But only the warship is not shooting, only just escorting. They went on an island because the captain from the unknown boat was shocked to see the television tower got collapsed. Letter N went on the class when he was little. He got a lot of scores and he got 1. But letter N gained a lot of points. Until that's really overloading. He shot the best one, and it hit 1 million. Letter N was really talented until he picked a decayed lemon and steps on a decayed lemon. He just saw a spider demanding him to visit him, but he gets so terrified They went in her car because that she's decaying until one day the car had crashed. Letter N felt sorry for his teacher. Ninetails and all the nines were trying to visit to the destination. And they just saw the scene. They shoot a ring until he just saw his teacher turning purple and it gets decaying and got disintegrated. He makes a tombstone for her. The other nines decide to go on letter N. Because of this, before Ninetails' attack, that's how they went in the house, spending fun. Hardsign and others were in a big house, or the dollhouse when the little girl used to play. Despite this, a lot of lemons that they just have, they were instantly. F and M decided to reach the building until one day they were fighting. This happens when the building collapses. Letter N was confined in the green room. The TV got an emergency alert. Those science squads are going to attack Ninetails. Hardsign, the one that was in charge of trying to kill him, they just went on the top. Letter N and others, because that letter N was the strongest and even killed Binary 9. Meanwhile Zeke, holding a spray can, and letter X decides to attack him for the vandalism of their house. Because the roof will crack. That is the only time the house roof would peel and instantly fall. With no success, it is tearing a hole until letter X fell down. Because of this, he saved himself, but instantly fell down. He gets up again, and meanwhile, at the object's house, they decided to turn on the TV, and other objects were waiting. In the hotel, no success of making an invention. They went to the statue, despite with no success. During the helicopter race, they instantly race in the city, but this time anything gets eliminated and back in their house. Another match, then it's over. Because he switched on the remote and instantly starts fighting. They went in the house. They went in the mathematical car, mathematical one. Soft suddenly uses flashlight mode. The hole got removed. That's how he went in the ring. During the race, the cars got crashed and got broken. The pipe grabs the oil and instantly kills him. Almost got killed. They went back on America, and that is the time the bridge was collapsing. The others were helping the cyborg situation before the world would end. Despite Sonic trying to beat up Rusty Rose, he got picked by the cyborg, but instantly he attacks and kills the cyborgs. Since in the 1960s, when they're semi-lowercase, they decided to went in that kind of shard a long time ago. During a mass, this film travels to the past. During a massive rainstorm of all the flood water, despite of him staying in the shelter, but because of his base, it was now so suburban. Suburban was now this orderly town. He had to leave because of all of this bloody water and water mutilation. There's no way out that he can get out. He was getting out of the place. The skyscraper was collapsing. That kind of seven and others were visiting the house. They went on Bob City, but because it was collapsing, they went in an unknown city. And because they went on Mathematical 2. Because that Mathematical 1 was in a critical energy, that's how it always gets destroyed for their bills. They went on the scene, and this is where the Morses were spelling kill, but without the single L. They were fighting, and that's how it ends. It was a happy day in the number town, but despite during the climate situation, it starts getting destroyed. In San Francisco, F decided to destroy the Golden Gate Bridge. And the Golden Gate Bridge was destroyed. They went on the fast food restaurant because that they were eating burgers and fries. He instantly destroys the furniture and they pursue. Along with the car, he starts smashing and ramming the cage, and they went back on Housington using the magic ring. Instantly the car got destroyed. The bomb timer had hit on 0, causing his car to go exploded, and the little Dec, or letter Desc kid, starts destroying his car. Anything was collapsing. Meanwhile, at Rusty Rose's base, due to the overload of companion cubes, or other cubes, Rusty Rose decided to go in the lift, but instantly get decapitated and got beheaded. In his house, anything starts collapsing. Meanwhile, in Shinjae's hospital, he recognizes that he's about to die on 12 a.m. His heart was in agony. On 12 o'clock, this is the time he got flatlined. And that's how they went on their home, happily. Number 1 and 2 decide to repair their calculator chip. Meanwhile, at their house, the house starts to collapse. And that's how their new mathematical was repaired, but still mathematical 1. Because of this, they were traveling away. And that's when they saw a yacht, and instantly they went in the marble. In the living room, the Morses decides to own his abandoned house, and it got destroyed with the server. The letters decided to travel away and go to a new house. The movie ends. The movie ends as the alphabet lore logo. The movie ends with the letter Z. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What did you think of this movie? And if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is all of the recaps. And if you liked the video, click here to subscribe.